So my next one that I got here is going to be Longlegs. And this is a suspense, thriller, horror kind of film directed by Oz Perkins. In this film, FBI agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. In this film stars Micah Monroe, got Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt, Nicolas Cage, and Kiernan Shipka pops up in here briefly. And I guess I'm gonna start with you, man. What you think of this one?
First off, just thinking about it, we just talked about Psycho.
I know, right? I didn't plan this.
It's actually Ferguson's son, which is kind of weird. I really enjoyed this film. It went in a lot of places I didn't think it was going. Well, this is one of the few films that I never didn't see. You know, I knew that it was horror. I never got around to seeing a trailer for it. So really, I don't know what the trailer on this looks like. Mm-hmm. But I really thought this was a real intense murder mystery. Nicolas Cage. Do they have a name for him?
Shit, Longlegs. Like that's what I think. Let me look up the.
He's a toy maker, a doll maker. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's his only name. Billed as Longlegs.
Okay, he is Longlegs, but he's a doll maker, and that's the only thing that and him being under heavy makeup, you know, because you hear his voice, but what it looks like doesn't look like our, Nicolas Cage we know and love. Mm-hmm. But I really thought this was a real interesting horror film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know how to really talk about this one without spoiling it, because
No, I totally understand, because it does have a lot of twists and turns that I think would benefit you checking out. The less you know about this, the better, man, because it was also a thing where I didn't watch the trailer, and and also it was a thing, the hype that people were putting into it, the scariest thing I've seen ever in years or whatever, but it's a mixed bag for me, man. Like, I definitely love, that this, takes place. It's kind of got a period film vibe, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're also, it's like there's no cell phones or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's more just like, stuck in that era, and it feels like it. The cars, the dress, the look of everything. Like, the aesthetics are there, man. This definitely feels like it could be a story that's also happening in the world of Silence of the Lambs. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. Definitely has that.
Vibes, you gotta get vibes of Silence of the Lambs from this, because the main character is an FBI agent. I'm just realizing that her mother, Ruth Harker, was played by Alicia Witt. Mm-hmm. I didn't recognize Alicia Witt.
Yes. She's one of those actors that you see her in 3 different films. She's gonna have like 3 different looks. And then the last thing I remember seeing her in was when she had that guest spot on Walking Dead, and she looks completely different. She looks completely different than she does in here. So yeah, man. But I think for me, what doesn't work so well for me is probably the later half of the film, man. Because like there's some cool stuff in here, man. I love Blair Underwood in this, man, as like the senior guy that brings in, our other character to look at this case that they can't crack. And he's cool, man. He's solid. Most of the performances are solid, but it gets a little weird, I think, toward when things start unraveling. I think there's some inconsistencies. Like it's a film. It reminds me of so many other films, in this genre, but I also think that so many of those films are just much better films, man. It's drawing from all these spots, and I think it fails to really pull together a solid identity for itself. And we get that, we of course we get the scene where we meet, Cage, and even that just came across as a little weird. I feel like
it wasn't a little weird about that.
It hit her in a way that kind of, I think it took me out, because I saw this theater was packed, man, for a Thursday night showing of a film that no one had seen. I think, did I see this Thursday night? I think it was Thursday night, and we're all like, and I think the internet stuff worked, man. Whatever this marketing team did folks need to hire them, because that thing was a lot of people in there for something like this. That's kind of not a mainstream kind of R-rated, promising this gore and stuff. But like there's a point where Cage is doing this thing, and it's like. And then later on after that, it was unintentional laughter, man. I know this film was not trying to get this laugh out of us. And it's just like, it was kind of one of those eye-rolling laughters that me and several other people in the audience let out. I was like, damn. And then I feel like I checked out the last 20 minutes, man, because it took a turn where I was like, all right, man, I know where this is going. And I just felt like, everything else is great in this. The performances, the aesthetics, like he's definitely a potent director, Perkins, but he didn't stick the landing for me, man. You know what I'm saying? And there is some really wild, outrageous stuff. Like I feel like he settled for the shock value, toward the end, rather than, nailing that story. That there's like a sacrifice at the very end, man. But I do encourage folks to check it out, man, because it's definitely visually and like one of the craziest things I've seen this year, man. There are some turns that do get a little wild, like in the end I didn't love it, but I definitely appreciate the guy for trying to make something, and what he did here, it almost worked for me, man. It almost, you know what I'm saying? It was right there. It was right there.
I will tell you this, Corey. I intend on buying this one and rewatching it, because it's some things to where people told me later on that I missed. And you look online, it's some items like Easter eggs or whatever that happened in this film, to where I gotta go back. I gotta go back and rewatch it. But overall, the tone of this film was just real dark. I can't think of a darker film that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? In the last couple years. Yeah,
it was dark, man. But here's my thing though, too. Like it talks about the occult. You know what I'm saying in this thing, but like I don't want to spoil this, man. So I'm gonna keep this simple. What I love about Silence of the Lambs, it still relied on, and True Detective. As crazy as those stories get, they still rely on straight up detective work, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's a point where this thing kind of introduces some things that I don't think it earned that. I feel like if you're going to do that, you got to set that stuff up, from the beginning, and I think later on, the way it's introduced, it threw me for the loop, man. And that's what made me kind of back off from it, toward the end.
Well, I'll put it like this. We found out something about the main character in the beginning of the film that should have paid off before it got to a certain point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you learn something about her. Later on, you kind of shouldn't. Some stuff should have happened a little bit different. Yeah. It's almost like I don't know if we still got a Carrie Fisher that be doctoring scripts out here, man. But I feel like some of these films lately, they need another pass through to get to help them get to that destination and that vision. I don't agree with you, but at the same time, it's some stuff that I think I missed in this film, and I really want to,
Yeah, but it makes me wonder. I need Blair Underwood and more shit like this. Let him. Yeah, I mean he's mostly a TV guy though, But but it was cool to to see him chewing up the scenery in this.